What's up, family? It's the Yungavelle here to talk about what I've experienced in the past 120 days on this NoFap journey. First of all, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks for tuning in. So, what has happened the last 120 days? This is probably a little bit more, maybe like 123 or something like that. But there's been this underlying theme throughout the whole journey of the process, especially past the 90-day hurdle or mark or whatever, of the build continues. I've kept saying that over and over in my mind after I've had a great conversation. It seems like the conversations that I'm having with people are elevating in quality. And I think that has something to do with my low tolerance for engaging in anything else that is not of a high quality nature. So I'm building with my coworkers, my friends, on the spiritual platform, on the self-discipline platform, and after these conversations, they happen so frequently that after these conversations, it just feels like the build continues. You know, the build continues, and it's a constant build. Like I had got stranded on a boat. My boat broke down, and I was with one of my coworkers, and this was our first time that we've had to actually sit down and talk, you know. So we kind of flipped the scene or the theme of like, damn, the boat's broken down, we're kind of drifting, we gotta wait to be picked up. We flipped it and like, yo, we haven't had the time to actually talk and you know, connect and build and stuff. So we end up having a great build, and we talk about NoFap, and we even talk about ayahuasca, the spiritual medicine down in the Amazon. So it couldn't help but be of high quality. And after that we talked for a while, you know, maybe like 40 minutes or so. And you know, I thanked him for the conversation. Like it seems after every time I have conversations like that, the people, and myself included, are like, yo, thank you for having that conversation. We need to have conversations like that more. And, you know, I felt the same way. The very next day, I speak with one of my lieutenants on the same subject. But we talk about, you know, we gear it a little bit differently. We talk about the self-discipline, and we start talking about the theme of why service works. You know, why? Because since everything is connected, everything is one, when you put yourself out there for loving devotional service to the Supreme, to God, the universe, you just make yourself available for service, you'll see that you'll get the reciprocity that you need in order to, it might not be the one that you want or expect, but it will be the one that you need. And if you're aware of this, you can use that to your benefit. So we had this real deep conversation, and after it, I'm like, the build continues. You know, the build continues, and this has been a repeating theme throughout this whole journey. So that's something that I definitely wanted to note and point out. Another thing is I have virtually no more approach anxiety. I don't even know if that was a thing, if I even had that, but I know that when you approach strangers, you know, especially women, and you know, guys too, just bros or whatever, on some chill shit, whatever, you get a little nervous or whatever, and you might end up not even doing it. But now I feel like it's virtually gone. I don't even have that. It trickles into my job too, because there's some time in my job I have to meet a lot of people, approach a lot of people, and sometimes there are vessels on the water that I have to go approach, and there are a lot of people on them. And you know, sometimes you might be like, I don't want to deal with those people. But I have come to the point where I'm like, I'll be the point of contact. Like, let's go up to the boat, let's do the stop, let's check the vessel safety equipment, see if they have any fish on board, you know, make sure everyone's safe, the operator's safe to drive. Like, put me in, you know, put me in, coach. Like, I got it. You know, and I feel that it's settled now into my, I don't know, my brain chemistry or my field, my energy. I feel like I know what to say and how to say it, because I'm super. I believe that not focusing on my own my own energy in terms of like, damn, what, how am I feeling, or like worrying about these little insecurities that come up during your interactions with people. Not worrying about that has freed up my own energy to be present with whoever it is that I'm talking with. And as a result, I'm able to be more attuned to, what might be needed, or what's the right thing to say, or, whatever, in whichever way I want to gear the conversation towards. So I know what to say and how to say it. And another thing that I've noticed is everything that I do now is geared towards self-development. Like I've developed a very low tolerance for things in my life that are not conducive to my forward progress. And I think it's because I've become hypersensitive to the quality of my actions. I've become so attuned to my own energy because of this process, disciplining and cultivating the most powerful energy within you, the sexual urge. I've become way more close with myself. And so everything that I do that is like a little bit off kilter in terms of forward movement, I'm super aware of it, and I have low tolerance for it. Like I will not engage in that activity for a long time. Like 2 nights ago I went out, down by in Miami by myself, just to walk around the town, absorb the vibes and stuff like that, and catch the vibe. So I went out there, and I'm not an alcohol guy. Like I'm very healthy, so being in those scenes around alcohol and all that stuff is I'm not one to just follow it like that. I'm still in my own space, still holding my own space, still fully aware of my intentions, just to enjoy my night and meet new people and stuff like that. So I'm there, and I'm going from spot to spot, and I start feeling, I'm having my beers or whatever, and then there's a point where I'm like, okay, in my mind I'm like, all right, there's no more need to have any more beer. Like I'm not that kind of person to just go out and get lost in the sauce, kind of, I'm still aware of the quality of my actions, and I stopped, and I kept on enjoying my night. And I know that it might seem like a small thing, but to me it's representative of me knowing what I'm doing. I know I'm super aware of the quality of my actions, and I'm not willing to sacrifice that for anything. I don't care if I'm the only one in the club or on the dance floor without a drink in my hand. I'm not afraid to be in my own space. And it was nice to do that because I'm in my own space, and I ended up vibing heavily, and I know that's just the reciprocity, the reciprocity of from the universe, and just me holding and being true to my own space. Yeah, so another powerful point that has come along in my awareness is stemming from this book that I'm reading called "The Obstacle is the Way," and it ties right into the whole the quality of my actions kind of thing. I'm super sensitive of how I'm responding to situations that present themselves, and the whole concept behind "the obstacle is the way" is so powerful. There's so much strength in going towards the obstacle because it pushes you into novelty. It pushes you into new ways of being, new modes of being, which essentially lead to growth, self-growth. So it's great because it seems like this perception is inevitable on this path, because we're essentially tackling an obstacle that's always in our control, always in our control, our sexual energy, our sexual influence, what we're allowing to influence us sexually. So remember how I was just talking about the quality of my actions. And all of these things tie together, you know, to make essentially, you know, a better version. You're becoming a better version of yourself. I'm becoming a better version of myself, and I am fully conscious of the process as it's unfolding, which is amazing. And one of the things that sticks out, and that this book, The Obstacle is the Way, pointed out was, you know, let's take something like no more approach anxiety, for example. This could be like in your job, or this could be with women, this could be anything. The opportunities that present themselves. I'm starting to find that I have more courage, but the crazy thing about courage is just taking action. That's it. It's not some crazy, like, mystical, wow, you're so strong, wow. No, courage is just taking action. And it's such a simple sentence, but the simplification of it is what makes it so powerful. You know, it's not something that you need to be a certain way to do. No, it's just taking action. And this leads me to my next point, which is very interesting how I feel and perceive opportunities now, because I feel that if I don't act on certain opportunities that are basically challenges or opportunities for me to move forward in even the smallest kind of way, I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice. You know, it's like I'm hypersensitive. My awareness is truly geared towards quality, you know, towards my own self-development. And this is not I've said this before, this is not a streak thing anymore. This is a lifestyle change. This is a lifestyle change. I am becoming someone different, someone better, someone more than I previously was. And it's a day-by-day thing, and it takes willpower, it takes desire, strength, but it's possible. It's possible, especially when you've come across, you know, you've made it past days that were very challenging. You know, those days are going to come where everything is going to seem to push you to go back, you know, to these old mindsets, and you have to stay strong. You know, simple as that. Another thing that I've noticed is that I have a less willingness to randomly look at people I don't know on social media. You know, this might be small, but I can see how social media slices down the attention span and has so many diverted attention options that you can find yourself losing so much time, and then when you snap out of it, you've been doing shit for an hour, you know? And I've noticed that I catch myself real quick, like, nah, I'm not doing that. I don't even know this person. Like, what's the point? You know, what's the point? And it all goes back to the hypersensitivity to the quality of my actions. So yeah, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to talk about so far and what's been happening in this journey. If you guys like this video, be sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's build. Remember, the build continues as long as you continue. Don't let change find you unchanged. So, until next time, remember, a greater perspective can lead to a greater connection.